Alright, so let's go over this guitar. This is the Schecter C7 SLS Elite Evil Twin. The Evil Twin is the matte black version. They do have other finishes. I think they have a gray fade and an amber fade. So those are very nice as well. But I chose this one because I want something that's going to show the wear and tear that I put on it. So I look forward to that. Let's go ahead and start with the lock-in tuners. These are Schecter branded lock-in tuners. I thought that, being just the generic brand, maybe they would be a little bit subpar. Maybe that's the reason for the, a little bit of a price cut in the sales. But no, these are actually very well made. They seem very durable. They lock in onto the strings very well. They stay in tune whenever you turn the key on it. They glide very smoothly, but with just enough resistance that it's not gonna just slip and let it go out of tune. So yeah, no complaints on that. It actually saved some money because I expected to put maybe a set of Godos on it, but didn't have to, so it saves me some money. Moving on to the Ernie Ball compensated nut. With our tune-in, we tune pretty low. We have a low G for our 7th string, so we're running a 74 gauge on this. Now with most guitars, you would have to adjust the nut. You would have to file it out and then hope to hell that the nut slot isn't too low that you start hitting that first fret. This one, I didn't have to do anything to it. No filing, no nothing. I just slapped in the new string, set up everything, and it worked out just fine. I have no fret buzz anywhere on this guitar, and the action is, exactly where I want it at, and it stays in tune. Intonation is really, really close to being just perfectly spot on. Now going on to the frets, whenever I was looking into buying this guitar at first, I was looking at a lot of different reviews, and a lot of people kept saying these are jumbo frets. Well, according to the spec sheet, they say that these are extra jumbo stainless steel frets. That is true. These are extra jumbo. These are not regular jumbo. One thing that I want to get into is the glow-in-the-dark fret markers on the side that's on the binding. Now, the fret markers themselves, yes, they glow in the dark, but aside from that, whenever it's not dark out, these are like a pale kind of gray, and they sit on this ivory colored, almost like a cream colored binding. So if these aren't glowing and you're playing in a dark place, say you're playing on a stage with very dim lighting or something, you might have a hard time relying on these and trying to spot these, to figure out where you're at. And that's one thing to consider. It's not like a high contrast of white dots on a black binding, or black dots on a white binding. Whenever you are relying on these to glow in the dark, they have to charge first. You can't just play this at home in a lit room or something and then just put it in your case and then show up at a gig, take it out, and expect that it's gonna, glow as soon as it's completely dark. No, it needs, it needs UV light in order to charge, or just use a black light. All right, so we can also talk about the neck. The neck is actually very, very thin. I've tried out a couple of the other 7-string Schecters, and the only one, actually, I don't remember if it was a 7-string or not. Yeah, actually it was. It was a 7-string Apocalypse, and that was the only neck that compared to this that I could find. No, I could not find any of the Keith Merrows, so I don't have that to compare. Hopefully if someone else has a Keith Merrow and have played this, maybe they can share their opinion on the neck profile comparison. But this is, it's very smooth. You can go up and down this thing with ease. The finish on the back, I believe, is a satin finish. It's probably just like I don't know, it looks more like it's just lightly stained. Whatever it is, it's a very thin coat. It doesn't get all gummed up and everything. My hands sweat. So, you can tell, down here, I even sweat right there wherever I anchor my finger, and it's already eaten away at the matte finish, which is fine with me. But this hand, whenever it starts sweating, I don't want it, stopping and getting stuck on the back of the neck. Well, it doesn't do that on this. This is a very smooth, very light finish on it. Moving down, another feature that I really like is they went with the spoke wheel truss rod adjustment. So you don't have to fight with the little screws up here behind the strings. You don't have to remove some kind of cover or anything. You just grab a small screwdriver, grab a small Allen key, and you can make your adjustment with, you can just, with the strings like that. And there you go, you have all the access that you need. Pickups, these have the Fishman Fluence Moderns. Each of these have 2 voice-ins. So voice 1 is supposed to be more of an active, voice 2 more of a passive. For me personally, I just see it as, voice 1, it's just, that's your full power. Voice 2 just seems like it's a cut in decibel. That's really it. These aren't as harsh as like the EMGs. Now the way that you control the voice-ins is the push-pull knobs on here. So voice 1 is pressed in, voice 2 you would pull out. You can do them individually if you want. The tone knob adjusts the tone knob. Push-pull is for the bridge. The volume control push-pull is for the neck pickup. You also have the 3-way blade selector switch for your pickups, which I prefer the blade style rather than the toggle switch. Toggle switches always seem to let me down for some reason. Also, these just feel a lot more solid to me. So now I'm really surprised at how versatile this guitar is. This is my first time using the Fishman pickups, so I kind of knew what to expect, but personally I kind of didn't believe the hype. These are very good pickups. You can use it for anything that you possibly want. If you want something like a warmer, clean tone or something, my personal favorite, throw it up on the neck. And I use voice 1 with pretty much everything. If I want something, a little bit thinner sounding, I can pull it up and go to voice 2 on the neck pickup. It covers everything that I could possibly want. So, as much as this is aimed towards the metal guitarist, you don't have to play metal on this and it will sound amazing. So this guitar is obviously aimed more towards the metal market. I've already had some people ask, well, how does it hold for lower tune-ins? Is it clear enough? Do you get a really tight sound out of it? How does it handle? How does it perform? The biggest thing to that is, as far as the guitar is concerned, yes, it can handle the low tune-ins. It's very clear. You can do whatever you want. This will do whatever the hell you want. But if you're really looking for, certain sounds, it's not just in the guitar. You have to consider everything else that you put into it. The guitar is not the only factor in that equation. You have to account for what you're going to put it through. Whether it's a plug-in, an amp, pedals, whatever you're doing, you got to consider those other factors as well. But as the foundation for it, yes, this will definitely handle anything that you want to throw at it. For my sound, what I did with this video, this was the Schecter through a TS9, through a noise gate, directly into the PVJSX, using the crunch channel on that. That goes through my orange 4x12 and mic'd up with a Sennheiser E906, and then just straight into Studio One. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully I covered most of what people are expecting out of a review video. This is the first one that I've ever done, and I'm sure it'll just get better in the future if I decide to do more. If you had any interest in the music at all, Playthrough was from my band Alloy. We're based out of Stuart, Florida. We're on most streaming platforms. We're on social media. It's Alloy Florida. We also have merch that's available. I'm wearing one of our new shirts right now. This is a reference to our environmental problems that we have down here in this area. We have toxic algae that forms periodically in our waterways. This is a great design by Belmonte Designs, and thank you to Convicted Printing as well for helping us out with this stuff.